So I am Jackie Gasa, and I am your intuitive guide and astrological obsessed sister. What's up, beautiful beings? Welcome back to Evolving with Jackie Gasa. So if you're a returning subscriber, that's what's up. And if you haven't subscribed, do the right thing, okay? Because on this channel we talk everything astrology, spirituality, understanding self, evolving and becoming. Who are we becoming? Natal, but we're on this journey, to becoming the best version of ourselves, okay, at the end of the day. So in this video we're going to be talking about Natal Chart Basics. So basically understanding your cosmic blueprint. Who are you? Why do you like the things that you like? Why do you think the way that you do? Why do you feel the way that you do? Why do you make certain decisions? And we're going to tackle all of that in this video. So yeah, buckle up. I'm going to start with what is a natal chart, right? So a natal chart is just basically your blueprint. So I would like to see it as when you were born at that specific time in that specific location, you were given sort of like a birth certificate, right? So that birth certificate is how the stars and everything was aligned, including the sun, where was Earth positioned, where were the planets, and then we will go deeper into the houses and all of that, right? Okay, let me put it like this. From a scientific perspective, we are made of energy. We come from energy. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. Energy just is. Energy has polarities, which is the negative charges and the positive charges, and it's that spectrum and, frequencies, wavelengths, all the scientific, yeah. So everybody has energy. Everything has energy, right? So because everything comes from energy. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transformed from one object to another. Basic energy explanation, right? So now everything has energy, including all the planets. The planets also have energy. So in a sense, they also have a personality, because they have a reaction, so how they were planned, how they were positioned when you were born, that's where now they were expressing themselves in specific ways depending on how they were in alignment. And I hope that makes sense. Because I feel like I was rampaging. So basically, it's like I am a user interface, right? I am the user end interface, right? It's what you see. And then there is a lot of codes that are made on the back end, right? There's a lot of script that is written on the back end. So basically, we are looking at the functions. And then from those functions, we're looking at the strings, right? So the strings are basically the different aspects or characteristics that makes up us as individuals, as a person. I hope that also makes sense. It is hard sometimes. It would be better if we speed, but some people might not be accommodated. So yes, here we are. Yes, so that's basically how I see it, right? We are decoding ourselves. Who actually are we? Why do we like? What do we like? So the reason I like astrology is because it gives me a new perspective. And not only a new perspective, however, it gives me the power to also go into the reprogramming of the subconscious mind, right? So when they say reprogramming of the subconscious mind, is basically learning yourself and looking into your characteristics and seeing how you can, evolve from it, and just, decide what, okay, you can see that your farm has more weeds than actually the fruit or the vegetable or whatever you're trying to grow, right? And then you can be able to take out the weeds and basically improve on yourself by knowing that sometimes you react more than observing and responding and things like that. So it's important also. Astrology also, I've found that also helps with understanding yourself so much that you can, choose to be better because you know yourself better. Hope that makes sense. So basically our natal chart tells us a lot about ourselves. Who are we? Where does our energy live? Right? We are energetical vessels. We got a lot of energy. You know what I mean? So in that energy, how do we use it? How do we, where is the weaknesses? What are my strengths? What am I good at? What are my gifts? What can I explore? What can I look into? How can I be myself more? How can I express myself more? How can I be the best version of myself? How can I ascend? How can I hear? I think I'm losing track. I'm enjoying. You know what I mean? Basically, that's natal chart with you. Who are you? What you do. Mama Hati, who is Jackie? Jackie is a healer. She's an intuitive therapist. She's a speaker. She's a CEO. As Gdingisan, I don't know, I'm getting distracted. Why does your natal chart matter? Why should I go and, learn more about myself? How is that going to help me? So it helps a lot, especially when it comes to healing. I know a lot of times we talk about healing and all of that, but we're at a point where if you cannot afford a therapist, you need to heal yourself. You cannot make excuses. Am I toxic for saying this? Am I toxic for doing that? Ain't nobody got time for that. Nobody got time for no toxicity. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, we cry it's because people are owning up to things that they shouldn't be owning up to. In fact, we should be trying to be better people. I'm trying to be a better person every day. Although sometimes a lot of people will trigger you, okay, by doing the most, to test your patience. I don't play with it. But astrology is important because it helps you heal old patterns. Old patterns like what? Why do you keep attracting the same people that you attract all the time? Why do you do that? Why is it the same guy in different bodies? What is it about you that is attracting those people? And I know also we always hear this, but it always starts with self. If I had not changed and my husband in that moment, we had not had a radical change in thought process before we met, then we wouldn't have met. Just in that moment, I'm telling you, in that moment. So if I was still thinking the same way Jackie was thinking moments before meeting him, and he was still thinking the same way he was thinking before we met, we wouldn't have met because we were on different frequencies, okay? So the right frequency looks like, would you love to be in the same space as yourself? I know I love being in my space. My husband loves being in his space, and we love being in each other's company. So it's just that, would you be able to live with yourself and it's basically that. Would you be able to live with yourself? Because if you can't live with yourself, the things that you say to other people, would you be okay if someone said it to you? And if someone said it to you and it made you feel bad, why are you repeating that cycle, right? So you basically understand your own purpose, right? Like, for example, I'm gonna be using myself as an example on this channel a lot, right? So I'm also finding my purpose, right? I'm in my purpose and finding it at the same time. Don't ask me how, but yeah, I'm going with the flow, okay? And that's what God said. Go with the flow and all is gonna be well, okay? And it also helps with improving relationships, right? So we have improved our communication skills a lot with my husband, because we have, as much as Scorpio and Capricorn, they gel well together, there's other aspects that needed communication, okay? Because as much as we are alike, we are also so different. So it was important for us. We use astrology a lot to, how do we balance each other? In astrology, we have the three main aspects that you probably know, and if you don't know, basically we have the sun sign. So the sun sign is also known as your star sign. So I like to say that it's the ego. It is the most you that you know, right? It is the part of ourselves that shines, the masculine energy, the one that is more dominant, the one that you understand. It's like, for example, I'm a Scorpio. I'm very intense when I wanna, I'm very, spicy if I wanna. I'm very, I'm also intuitive, like into fast, and most people will think because sometimes I'm quiet, I'm subtle, I don't see BS for BS, but I'm very intuitive. I'm very in tune with my spirituality, with my dreams, with myself, like lucid dreaming and all of these things. Like, I'm very in touch with my spiritual self, right? And that's what I've been working on this whole time, and that's how I've also found my purpose. That my purpose is in learning about spirituality and how to connect everything, basically, because nothing is disconnected. Everything is connected, right? It's like a spider web, and the only disconnection is in the mind, right? When we feel like things are disconnected, the disconnection is in the mind. So it's very important to understand that everything is connected. So basically, that is your sun sign, is your more prominent energy, right? The one that dominates, the one that you're aware of, right, is your sun, the one that shines bright, the one that is noticeable, right? And then we have, so I would also like saying that the sun is the masculine energy. So masculine energy in such a way that it also reveals a certain parts of the relationship that you might have with your father, right? Because like I said, it's a masculine energy. And then we have the moon. So the moon has to do more with your emotions. It is the mother. It is more about, how you nurture yourself. It's how you take care of yourself, how you parent yourself, how you love yourself, and basically how you process your emotions, right? So I also like looking into emotions as energy in motion. Remember at the beginning of this video, we said energy, everything is energy. It's how you process your emotions. Are you reactive, and what ticks you off, what excites you, and all of those things. And then we have your rising, right? So your rising sign is usually on the astrological table. It's like ASC, so it's your ascending. So it's more about how other people see you, your first impression, how you present yourself, right? So an example would be my sun sign is in Scorpio, my moon is in Sagittarius, and then my rising is in it's in Gemini. And I never used to like the fact that like Gemini and Sagittarius, and for some reason I found out that that's my superpower, right? So Gemini, it's more friendly. People see me as a friendly person. It's either I'm friendly or I'm not friendly. Some people see me as two-faced, and I don't know. I see things from different perspectives sometimes, So I might say big ups to this and then see another aspect of it. And then I've learned Gemini. My mom is also a Gemini, so being a Scorpio, I couldn't relate much to her Gemini energy. However, that's why I had to learn about Gemini, so that I can better understand her and myself and how other people see me, because maybe what I don't like in her is what other people don't like in me. Maybe, so that's how I checked it out. So that's how I've also used astrology to also assist me in relationships, and also understanding how where other people come from, because at the end of the day, it's all about being social and forming relationships and sustaining relationships. So I've used astrology to sustain most of the relationships by understanding where other people come from, and also understanding why I feel a certain way about why it's someone else's behavior, because we cannot dispute that other people's reactions do affect us, right? However, how much affected are we, and when we are affected by those actions and we need to question ourselves, what do we have to fall back on? So that's where now the astrology came in, that I came to a lot of realizations using astrology. So that's how I also use it. At the beginning of the video, we spoke about the different planets, and then we said that it's a blueprint where every planet was positioned, right? So every planet, we also said that has a personality, right? So in that personality, we derive a lot of energetical energies from it, right? And we can define those energetical frequencies by names. So for example, we have Mercury. So Mercury is the planet of communication and thinking. So with Mercury, it is represented by the blue chakra, which is communication, right? So communication has to do a lot with it's hearing and talking. The Saivati listen more than you speak, so there's a connection between hearing and speaking. So that is basically Mercury energy. So Mercury energy has to do a lot with intelligence, so that's Mercury. And then we have Venus. So Venus is the planet of beauty. It's the planet of relationships. It's the planet of all things nice. So there is a book called Women Are From Venus and Men Are From Mars. So my husband gave me that book when we first met, and I realized that it helped a lot, because we go through different phases, right? You go through the honeymoon phase where you can't wait to see each other, you just want to wake up next to each other every day, and then you get to the challenging part. So that book really helped. So yeah, definitely, whether you've been in a relationship for 10 years or 5 years or what, it's definitely gonna help, because it helps understand the masculine energy, which is Mars energy, and I'm gonna get to Mars, and then you understand the Venusian energy, which is more sensual, more feminine. So the masculine energy is more Venus energy, which is drive, passion, action. It is more working hard, and that's why it's important to also always balance these two energies, especially the Mars and the Venus energy, because that's also how you're going to tackle the relationships that you have. And then we have Jupiter, right? So Jupiter is all about expansion. It's about blessings. We notice the planet Jupiter with how large it is. I mean, like, I'm basically teaching planets but that's how it starts. It's like a basic rundown. Okay, come with me, we're having fun here. Okay, so that's Jupiter, right? It's more expansion. It's about blessings. It's about nice things, right? And then we have Saturn. I feel like my husband is a Capricorn, ruled by Saturn. He's the only person that gets excited for obstacles. I don't get excited for obstacles, challenges. I feel like Saturn is a lot. Like, immediately when I hear challenges, I don't know why I want to run. I want to run in the opposite direction. Like, I don't like problems. But anyway, that is Capricorn energy, which is Saturn. And then we have Uranus. So Uranus is more innovation, it's more explorative. And then we have Neptune, which is the planet of imagination, dreams, the fifth dimension. And then last but not least, we have planet Pluto. Planet Pluto is the furthest planet away from the sun. It is dark, it's transformative, it's rebirth, right? It's all things nice, you know what I mean? And then we have the houses, right? So we'll see the houses like rooms in your house, right? So it just reminded me of the verse by Jesus when he said, "My Father's house has a lot of rooms," right? So those are the, yeah. So, in my Father's house there are many rooms. I hope I got one right. I'm still working on the quoting of the word of God, as I'm ascending. So bear with me, so you know what I mean. So we have the first house. So the first house is basically the house of self, right? It is the house of who are you, right? It's about me, individuality, yes, self-image, identity. And then we have the second house. The second house is more about your money, it's the second house of your possessions. And then we have the third house, which is the house of communication. And we go all the way to the seventh house, which is marriage and relationships, and then we have the eighth house, which is contracts. We have the 10th house, which is career, and so forth, right? So if you want to check it out more, I have an ebook which I will put also in the description, where you can basically get a digital download. And then as we ascend, like I said, we're going to be using this book a lot, to refer back on. It has affirmations, it has a lot of juicy things there, and I'm still adding more. However, currently we have 32 pages of nice stuff, you know what I mean. So do download it, okay? And basically those are the houses, right? So don't be scared or try to indulge everything all at once, right? So it's important to also take it bit by bit, piece by piece. It's a daily thing. You don't have to know all the houses and all the planets and know what your life is supposed to be all about on the first go. That's why we start with the three main aspects. You can start with your sun sign, and then move into your moon, and then go into rising, and then from there go to the the planets, and learn each planet on your natal chart or on your natal table. And then from the table you can go all the way, just bit by bit. It's all about finding yourself and learning yourself, right? So yes, that's what we're all about on this channel. And if you want to book me for a reading, we can go into depth about you and basically have a better understanding of who you really are. It'll also help you make better career choices in terms of understanding yourself, right? Once you understand yourself and your good qualities and your skills and your talents and your expertise, then it becomes easier for you to align yourself. Unlike sometimes, especially more kulelekasi or in the rural areas or in remote areas, you don't really get an opportunity or access to career guidance. So it's very important for you to also try to bridge that gap by getting a natal chart whenever you're connected to the internet, and do the right things, and also tap into your abundance. So I've also been reading a lot of books of people who are millionaires and billionaires, you know what I mean, because frequency. Okay, so frequency. Yeah, so I've been reading a lot of books, and I realized that they use a lot of energetical work and astrology. So with astrology, you're able to know where your abundance is. You're able to know how to source money, and basically even your money blockages. What are the things that are blocking your money, right? I've learned that it was not being able to receive, right? Sometimes because I'm a giver, I'm always giving, and sometimes it feels awkward to receive unless I have worked really hard for it. I'm just like, I'm not gonna work that hard and not receive anything, But apart from that, it's hard for me to just receive a good gesture, although I give good gestures. So those are one of the things that I have learned that are money blockages. So is being able, so once you have identified what is the blockage, it's easy to identify it when it comes to okay, instead of beating myself up and not wanting to receive, let me receive, because I know that it's something that I need to work on, right? In natal chart, it is a bridge between your soul and your human experience. So your soul has a purpose. We all have a purpose. Some of the people have not identified it until they were in their graves. And in the previous video I mentioned how time flies very fast. Like time flies very quickly in such a way that 10 years can go by without you even finding your purpose. So use a natal chart, don't complicate it, right? So how to get a natal chart reading? or a natal chart. So basically you can go on Google and search natal chart, and I usually use Astro. I feel like it's the most accurate. I've been using it for over 10 years now, so I prefer it over everything. So you can go there and then you put in your birth date, exact time, and all of that. So if you don't know the exact time you were born, it's okay. You can ask your parents. If you can't ask your parents, it's also okay. You don't have to specify the time. So however, you won't get your rising, and other aspects might not also show. However, you get at least a mouthful of information there, right? And then from there you get also the information. They do explain what each planet, when it's in a specific star, what does it mean, and all of that. And if you feel like that is not enough and you would like to get or book a reading, I'm available for readings. You can find my email in the description, and or maybe you can book me via the Indalo Robotics website. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be a rapper, right? So unaman right? So basically just identify your big three, and then after you identify your big three, that's where you can start, right? I have some videos where I wasn't tackling the sun signs, so you can also check it out. Don't be scared. Okay, see you in the other videos. Bye, honey. I love you. Don't forget to stay grounded, stay peaceful, stay in love, stay magical. Okay, bye.